Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. Be sure to check me out over on Rumble. There you'll find all of my stuff from YouTube, plus my political and social commentary and weekly current events, which YouTube frowns on. Links to my Rumble channel as well as my other YouTube channels and links to let you order my books are in the description of this video. If you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Now, on with the video. Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an unexplained megalithic site video on Easter Island. In the eastern part of the South Pacific sits an island. This island is claimed by Chile and is also known as Rapa Nui. This is Easter Island. Experts disagree on when the Polynesian inhabitants first reached the island, but most agree that it was settled between 300 AD and 1200 AD, somewhere in that range. Without going too in-depth on the history of the island, a series of devastating events in the 1860s reduced the population significantly from 3,000 to about 111. That population has recovered, growing to about 7,750 today. What makes Rapa Nui famous in modern times is the statues positioned all around the island. These statues, called moai, number 887, so there's almost 900 of them. They are monolithic statues carved between 1100 and 1680. Each one of them represents the head of a family line, a chief or whatever. These statues are carved primarily from tuff, which is solidified volcanic ash. This tuff is only found in one place on the island, so the statues had to have been moved from from there to the site where they were installed. And that in and of itself doesn't sound that bad. The issue with that is that the largest moai ever raised on a platform weighs 90 tons. Several similar sized statues were moved elsewhere on the island. So these people were moving 90-ton statues. Moving them by hand would likely damage them. So to this day, we still don't know how they moved them from point A to point B like that. It's crazy. How did the Rapa Nui move such statues? Many people have suggested different ways that they might have been moved, but none of these were known to the inhabitants. Legend has it that the moai walked from the quarry to their destinations under their own power. Modern-day Rapa Nui inhabitants do not know how the moai were moved, but since most of their learned people were lost during the 1860s, it is possible that the knowledge was simply not passed down. That's perfectly understandable. That being said, it is possible that the method used is simply unknown to modern man. Those statues were moved one way or another from the quarry to their sites. That is a fact. They had stone tools that could have carved it. The carving is not the issue. The moving is the issue. Initially, it was thought that these were just heads, but it turns out that most of the bodies were buried over time. I don't know, at this point nobody knows if the inhabitants buried the statues up to their necks or if this was a natural dirt piling on over years. But to me it seems like that much dirt being moved, because these things are huge, that much dirt being moved, they were buried up to their necks. Why they would do that, I have no idea. To me, it would be simpler just to carve a head and put it there. But they didn't do that. They carved the head. They carved the whole thing, the whole statue, moved it from point A to point B, and then buried it. There are learned men saying that over time the sand piled up. And I guess that's possible, but that seems like a lot of sand because, these things are huge. Any way you want to look at it, the statues on Rapa Nui on Easter Island are a mystery, because today I saw a video where this guy had a bunch of people on either side of it, and they were tilting it back and forth and walking it with ropes. But that statue was much smaller. You know what I'm saying? My contention there would be they moved them all. There's no broken statues laying around. So whatever method they used was perfect. They had perfected a system to move these things, and they didn't break any of them. None of them toppled over to break and broke or whatever. So I don't know. Nobody does. And that's the mystery. Unexplained megalithic sites. Unexplained. That's the point. I hope this finds everybody well. And if anybody has any other ideas or any other comments, put them in the comments. I'm sure we'd love to read them. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. We elect cookie-cutter politicians every single election cycle. Yes men who maintain the status quo and do just enough to make us believe the system still works. Imagine, if you will, a president who actually tries to fix things. If you like action, political intrigue, and a righteous crusade, check out my political thriller, The Righteous President.